setups ready for the race. Also seeing that Kenny managed to grab P2 out of nowhere and surprise everyone. I think he's going to be a racer to watch this race. This driver, I've seen him in the past. He's definitely battle-worthy material. He'll put up a fight if he comes under threat. So watch out for him, I say. So that is the beep, and we are waiting for the fired lights. There's the 5, and there they go. They start. Bonkers and Kenny, they get a very decent start indeed. Already a 10th. Sorry, just sort out my hard to force India. Already losing time to Bonkers, who's already half a second. Killian and Pepsi going side by side into turns 3 and 4. They go down into that as Killian is squeezed out of Pepsi. Goes into P3, keeps P3 there. Button, oh, the Ferrari goes into the back of what I believe, yeah, it's Killian, so that's Button into the back of Killian there. Interesting to see how that plays out in terms of pits. Basher and Bianchi go side by side. Strolled crashes out, so that's his race over on lap 1. Very unfortunate indeed. And Bianchi, what's happened with Bianchi? I've lost him. Where's Bianchi? I can't see him. What happened to him? Oh no, it's a glitch. I don't know what happened there. The Sauber and the Toro Rosso coming out of that hairpin there. We're coming up to the end of the first lap already, and the top 6 are all as they are since the start of this race. I'm still showing signs in sector 2. I think that might be trolled. I'm not 100% sure yet. His car still laser as a Ferrari there. Oh, Killian hits the champions. That is not going to be the first. That is the first. That is most definitely not going to be the last. Bianchi and Liv still going at it. The Toro Rosso and the Sauber going. Oh, Liv's have been pushed wide. Liv's completely off the circuit, and Bianchi lagging a bit there. It seems it doesn't look like that's going to favour him at all during this race. Killian and Pepsi, they were going toe to toe, tyre to tyre, coming out of turns 6 and 7, I believe. Killian is right behind Pepsi. Pepsi wanting to play the heavy defensive move. Pepsi got a better exit out of that and a better entrance, mind you. Button following behind Killian. Button goes for the move on the inside. I don't know why it's giving me that camera position inside of Basher. Basher making slight contact with Button there. That's Button up into P4, I think. Button in the AI mode, an incident there. It's still very close indeed. This is what you want as a commentator, to be very close on the second lap. Now on to the end of the second lap. Bonkers still goes fastest for a second time with a 1:13.8. That's almost low qualifying already. FIFA Lowe's goes into the pits. Looks like, yeah, he's got front wing damage. So he goes on to the super slots, wanted to go for a much aggressive strategy this early into the race. So he's the first pit stop, and he won't be the last, definitely. And so is D3. D3 also has front wing damage. So he goes in for a pit stop, and he goes on to, it looks like the Ultra Softs, I just want to confirm, no, it's the Softs. So he goes on to the Softs, and I'm still showing signs in sector 2 for some reason. I can't fathom as to why. The top 6, well, I say the top 6, between 3rd and 6th is still quite close. Well, Kane and Bonkers. Bonkers having a full second already, a lead over Kenny, the second qualifier. They're not getting the best result out of that start, it looks like. F1 Ben on the softs, currently in P7. He goes into the pits, never mind. He has front wing damage, and Bianchi has a 3-second time penalty there for corner cutting. That's going to happen a lot. I believe that was at the turn 13 and 14 of the World Champions. Oh, excuse me. So Ben goes in. He switches onto what I believe would be another pair of super strips. It doesn't look like it's changed. Yeah, so he goes onto another pair. Cameron with no front wing at all. He's going to want to get that checked out at all as D3 is lagging about like crazy indeed. Basher on the tail of Pepsi and Groundsy on the tail of Lane. Basher go for the move. No, he doesn't. He goes almost on the outside. Can he get what is technically a switchback? He goes very, very early onto the throttle, much earlier than Pepsi. Groundsy and Sir Lane, they go tie to tie, going around that hairpin. So Sir Lane will move up into 9th position on Groundsy. Groundsy will lose out because he does not have DRS either. Sir Lane making quick moves of that, and on top of that, Groundsy has a 3-second time penalty for taking a corner cut. So Sir Lane already taking Sir Lane. I keep calling him Lane. Sir Lane. I'm going to call him Sir from now on. Sir catching up to Gotten 6. Gotten 6 is just in front of Lane. Sir X. I don't know. Meanwhile, Basher all over the tail of Pepsi. With a massive voice crack. Atlantis and Cal, they go to play under about half a second, which is why I thought it was weird. That was weird. That might have just been lag. I'm not sure. I was wondering because there is quite a bit of a gap between them. Meanwhile, Basher still behind Pepsi under half a second, so he has that DRS. Under a second, sorry, so he has that DRS. He's going to probably try and use that. Meanwhile, Button also has DRS on Basher, so Pepsi can do nothing right now in the middle of all of this. Gotten 6, slowly catching up to Killian, and he's very late on the upshift there. Lane all over Gotten 6 also as Basher goes into the pits there. Sorry if you saw that on the right, that was a little glitch. That happens all the time. So Basher and Bianchi are into the pits. Basher goes onto the Super Sauce and Bianchi goes on to the Super Sauce. Also, it shows Ultras, but it is Supers. From Ben going 113.6 plus that like that. Then Bonkers still a full second, just over. A lead on Kenny, and Groundsy gets that move nice and tidy, or so he thought, as Sir Lane comes back to try and fight for that position. Groundsy will have to play the defensive move going into these corners of 8 and 9. Groundsy going slightly wide lane, getting slightly better exits, but it's not enough. Groundsy slipping away there. Lane very late onto the brakes. Very, very good to catch up to your opponent. Lane, I don't think he has that DRS, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to catch up to Groundsy coming into the start finish. Excuse me. Apologies. There. Gotten 6. And Killian gets a 3-second time penalty there. I was going to say, Gotten 6. Only. Where is my. Why is it all the way down there? Gotten 6 just over half a second from Killian. Killian in P5. He is 4 seconds from Buck. And in turn, that means that Killian is already 10 seconds from the leader of this race. It is unbelievable how fast Bonkers and Kenny have made time. Excuse me. So Lane goes into the pits, and he is 30 seconds. So just gotta get a quick drink. So Bianchi picks up a 3-second time limit. Slowly trying to sort out my HUD before anything happens. Groundsy looks to be with a 10-second time penalty. There are penalties left, right and centre in this Canadian Grand Prix here at ILR. Groundsy wanting to catch Gotten 6. He has that DRS. He opens it up. Can he use that the DRS, the slipstream and the rich mix to catch up to Gotten 6? It doesn't look like it. So he is... Ooh, Gotten 6 was very, very early on those brakes, which is let Groundsy catch up to Gotten 6 exponentially quick. Lives in P8, he's managed to make his way up by 2 positions. Catching up to Groundsy, F1 Ben gets a 3-second time penalty also. So on lap 8 already, there have been so many. Apologies if I miss any battles, for now I'm just checking time penalties. So Bonker's completely clean. Kane Kenny is completely clean. Pepsi, nothing whatsoever. Button, 2 warnings, 1 more, and he's on a time penalty. Killian, already on a time penalty and already on a warning. Got on 6 on a penalty plus another warning. Groundsy on a penalty. Lives on 2 warnings and another warning, so 1 more, and I think he will get a time penalty. Atlantis on a warning. Basher on 2. So it's going to be very close indeed. And of course, F1 Ben has 2 penalties on just 1 singular lap. And we go back into the action. Got on 6, got on side by side. Out of that hairpin. Apologies for missing part of that. I was talking about the time penalty. Yankees going fastest there. Got on 6 will obviously have the inside line. Is he going to be kind? No, he's not. He's going to be very aggressive there. And he's been shoved wide as the Canadian glitch there. Getting the best of some people, and luckily Groundsy into the pits there. There's going to be probably some investigations after this race. Got on 6, going very deep into that chicane there of the champions. Button for 3 seconds time. Driver in 4th position. There. Oh, excuse me. So, meanwhile, Lives is slowly chasing down 6th position. He's in 7th right now. Can he catch up to Got on 6? By lap 10, lap 11, it's going to be very close. He's on the super soft. He's on a less aggressive time, but almost Got on 6 loses it, which gives him 6th position. Lane there, getting a 3-second time penalty. Got on 6. Unlucky indeed. I think he's just taken the exit of turn 7 very badly. Sorry, I've got a slightly upset nose, hence the slipping. And he's just almost, he managed to recover it. Well done to him, fair play to him. But it's just let Lives just slip through. So, well done to Lives, or I say well done. Unfortunate for Got on 6, but well done for Lives having the luck that he needed. Cameron with a 5-second stop. Go there as the glitch takes out Button. That is unfortunate indeed. So many drivers are going to be victims to that. It looks like that is unfortunate indeed. That is. I hate it when drivers become victims. I hate seeing drivers become victim to something that they cannot control at all. Even if it's like a head-on collision, if it's a glitch, if it's something, if it's game breaking. It's just not fair to see a driver who's driven so well so far, and then he's just that's just happened. Kenny, the person who's in 2nd, the driver who's in 2nd position at the start of this race, all the way down in P9. Lives all over the back of Killian, so he's managed to chase down. He started in P10, ladies and gentlemen. He managed to catch up to Killian, going slightly deep in that corner. Killian taken a much wider part of this track. And Bianchi, I think. Oh no, he's just here now. So I think he's just disconnected. Killian and Lives back into P3. I apologise, I made a rookie error missing that entire move. I saw the start of it, but I didn't see it through. But Killian does not have DRS either. He's in standard, yeah, he knows he's not going to get that move back. Lives is such a quick driver when he's in his element. Ooh, being very careful not to hit that barrier. It looks okay. And that is being very careful. I'm not sure, as Killian makes a mistake, making an even further gap. I'm not sure that this is going to be a very clean race in terms of the game. Better than that. Oh no, that's a glitch. Drivers who are watching the stream, when you're in the pits, get a chance to let me know. Is anyone else having that glitch with the Wall of Champions? I just want to know, in case it's not just me, or if it's the game, if it's everyone, because this might cost some drivers. I want to know. Killian and Basher, I think Basher got the move there to make up the course. So Killian all the way down in P5 after losing to Lives, and now Basher. Killian will obviously want to make a move, but he doesn't. He goes into the pits after, I think, what is that? Front wing damage on the left. So he delves into the pits. Which will put him down. Let's see what it says he'll come out. I can't tell. He goes for a front wing change. Groundsy gets a 3-second time penalty. multiple warnings. I'm guessing that's corner cutting again. So he goes on to the super sauce. Excuse me, I feel that you all coming. I've had a long day of university work. So FIFA lols. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. So that's a yes. On some drivers are guessing that glitch. That I'm not sure. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is. I am astounded at what I am seeing. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that wall on the right. Atlantis and Kenny going side by side again. Kenny all the way down in P6 after starting second, may I remind you. Basher has been claimed victim by the Water Champions. I think it's that glitch again. So something out there. The Renault driver of what I believe is a Ferrari. Who was the Renault driver? That's BOR Leclerc. He's got Grousey right on his gearbox, as does Atlantis on lane. Atlantis meanwhile on the ultra soft, wanting to catch Kenny, and Kenny will try and get that second position back. Meanwhile, Bonkers still comfortably in first lane, and Atlantis going. Bonkers still comfortably in first after qualifying there. I cannot say the same for Kenny, who's like P2. Pepsi and Lives. Deal! I'm quite worried now. I'm genuinely worried and scared for some of the drivers. Some of it. Time penalty. Groundsy will be wanting to make a move on Leclerc very soon. They're on both the same tyres. He's got that DRS. It seems like he got a good exit out of that hairpin, so Leclerc will be getting away smoothly. FIFA Lols and Gillian. Yeah, I just want to go aboard to see what happens. Gillian and FIFA Lols, they go side by side coming out of that hairpin, coming into the left right now. I'm lost for words, to be honest. Oh, it's a battle for B7 as Groundsy gets comfortable and close with Leclerc, and Leclerc gets comfortable and close with Atlantis. Atlantis has completely been done over there. Left in the dust by Groundsy, and Leclerc moving up to 8th and 7th and 8th respectively. Bonkers still 8 seconds in front of Pepsi. Killian and FIFA Lols, they go side by side, got 6 in the back line, you can see very carefully. They go side by side into turn 6 and 7. McLaren driver there, got on 6. He'll be wanting this. He wants them to scrap so he can make a move. He goes down the centre of these trio here. Killian has been pushed wide into turn 8 there. Got on 6. I believe his front wing damage. He does, so he's going to miss out. As what was that there? Killian very early on the brakes, it looks like. Yeah, indeed. So gone 6 up into P10. Killian down in 12th. And FIFA Lols in 11th. Atlantis dived into the pits after he has front wing damage. Oh, FIFA Lols get. Oh, dearie me. Oh, dearie me. I'm not going to say a thing, but Gotten 6 is Gotten 6 is retired. I think. I'm having I think he went back of him there of FIFA Lols, but I'm not going to say a thing. I'm just going to keep my head down and just accept that F1 bonus of 3 seconds. Put that there. D3 still in this race in 13th. So far, lap 15 of the 20 drivers, only 13 remain, and on lap 15, sorry, on 35. Quite a gap between all the drivers now. Oh, I didn't notice that. When did Bonkers get in P3? I'm not sure. Bonkers and Lives, they get comfortably. Pepsi in P4 after going out of the pit. So he had the lead and then went back in. Bonkers will want to make a move on Lives very soon as Kenny there sets the fastest Sorry, I'm a bit confused as to what happened with FIFA LOL. So my mind is a bit off as to who is where, because it's kind of all confusing because everything changed. So Livs is leading for the 4th time this season. Hopefully it can be this race, hopefully in the sense that it will be very interesting for him to further that podium spot on every race. So far, 3 seconds to Cal. There's Bonkers makes a better exit on Liv. He makes the move on the inside, going to the hairpin, locking up, going very tight, making sure not to lose that position to Livs. Livs missing out there. Interestingly, Livs has more fuel than Bonkers. Bonkers using that fuel and that DRS to get away from Livs as fast as possible. Leclerc on the back of Groundsy, meanwhile. He has that DRS. Is it enough to catch him? Groundsy? It looks like he's caught him up enough. Is it enough for him to make the move? It is not. That glitch still existing. Oh well. Leclerc and Groundsy cross into lap 17. The battle for P7 right now is heavily underway, and it has been for quite some time now. For half a second from Groundsy. It looks like F1 Ben is just over half a second from Livs. Livs losing out on P1 there. And back to Leclerc. It looks like that. It looks like no time is being lost, but none is being gained either. From Ben closing in on Livs on that back straight. He has that DRS. He's taking it very cleanly indeed. He's using that fixing. He's using that rich mix. He's caught right up to Livs' gearbox. But it doesn't look like he's going to make the move. He's very clean. On Ben taking about 3 seconds back on it. I'm not sure if he did there. I didn't quite see that. Towards Kane. Kenny has been a victim to that glitch as well. Oh my dearie God. That is unfortunate. So another driver being claimed from the hashtag eSports ready quotation marks game. So that's Kane Kenny, the person who started in 2nd position, mind you, is out of this race. So that now leaves us with 12. As Ken Kenny moves down that grid. BOR Leclerc, there we go. Leclerc is making a move on Gran 6. There we go, I got it in the end. Leclerc making a move on Gran 6, slowly catching up. I think making a move. He's starting to want to make a move on Groundsy. He's slowly catching up to him, 10th by 10th. Although he has just lost a bunch of time in the sun. I've said that, so ignore me. Ignore everything I just said. Everything I just flat on it. I never said it. Come out of Le Epengel. I'm not really going to pronounce that. Le Pleng. French word. Turn 10. 10 out of turn 10 in the hairpin there. He does not have that DRS lane. I keep wanting to say line. Sir Lane picking up a 3 second. He's all the way up in P5. I think that's the first time I've seen him this race. Yeah, so he was at Australia, but unfortunately that was not street. So he's up in P5. He's currently 8th. No, he's not. He's currently 11th in the standings. So well done to him. Well, Bonkers, the person in 3rd right now, who wants to get this thing to hold on to this winners. Livs and Pepsi, the constructors, all out. I think they've just swapped places. Pepsi out of nowhere. I'm not sure why I'm missing some of these battles. I do apologise. The times, they seem to be like half a second, 7.7 seconds, 0.3, and then out of nowhere, they just make the move. The move's just been made. So I apologise if I missed some of these. Battle for P5, it looks like. I say P5, it's more like P6. There's a bit of a gap between Groundsy and Sir Lane. Leclerc has that DRS on Groundsy, but does Groundsy have that DRS on Lane? No, he does not. So he's sort of stuck as Sir Lane goes into the pit, as does Libs, the championship leading racer driver right now. He goes in for a pit stop. He goes on to the Ultra Softs. I'm not sure if it can take it for the entirety of the race. Who knows? He did go for wing damage. So they're coming out soft. So that's probably his strategy done. Leclerc picking up get the volume of the stream right now because I don't exactly have the best equipment for streaming audio wise. I'm just using some standard headphones that you listen to on a phone and whatnot. But Leclerc under half a second from Groundsy. Can he make the ground on Groundsy? Sorry, I'll stop. But he just after that 100 meter board, it seems, very tight through that turn 10 hairpin there. He has that DRS. And he has more fuel than Groundsy. And from Ben into the pits, it's going to drop him down the order quite a bit. So Bonkers retains his lead. Leclerc goes into the pits. It looks like he was going to go for the move, but he didn't. He backed out. So he goes into the pits as well. F1 Ben goes in on to the Ultra Softs. And Leclerc will go on to. It shows the Super Softs, but I'm not quite sure. He does go on to the Super Softs. Okay, so there's the glitch is it could just show any random, but when it is on the left of the screen, that's what the tyre they are on. So Leclerc emerges in P7, right in front of Sir Lane, right in front of him. Killian picking up a 3-second time penalty. There's been a lot of penalties this race. I've never known Canada to be so penalty heavy. Bonkers 9 seconds, Bonkers 9 seconds in front of the second car, actually 1.6 to be exact. F1 Ben closing down Libs. It looks like he has that DRS. He doesn't have less fuel, he has just a bit under. I say that, he has a whole lap of fuel less. Very late on the brakes. Libs get an amazing, Ben gets an amazing exit. They go side by side, coming to the start-finish line. Libs goes fastest there, but it's not really relevant right now. Ben makes the move for P3. Libs has been pushed out, and Ben makes a very tiny move for P3 there, grounds it into the pits. Libs will want to fight back for P3 now. Right now, the championship leader right now will be screaming in that helmet because he's trying so hard to have everything under control. It's been such a hectic race. Groundsy picking up a 3-second time penalty there. Yeah, Libs is just wanting to just hold on every bit of grip he has, every bit of fuel he has. Just reserve it. He's hunting down position by he's hunting down those positions. Driver Sambo into the place. Driver 11. Right now, I think I'm not sure. I can't remember where he qualified. Groundsy and Killian, the two Williams drivers going side by side there. Groundsy in P5, Killian in P6. Bonkers with a 3-second time penalty. It's not really affecting those, to be honest. He's up in P1 with a 10-second lead, unless, if I'm mistaken, has another penalty. I can't quite remember. Meanwhile, going back to the two Williams drivers. The Williams drivers. I'm not sure. Who knows? The drivers in the white cars. There we go. Leclerc, the Renault driver, following behind. I can do this, but it's not Williams. Leclerc behind Killian. Killian behind Groundsy. And Groundsy a 9-second gap from him and Libs. Libs just under a full second between him and Ben, but it looks like that gap is time in Atlantis with a 3-second time penalty. Okay, I'm just going to check the top 5 penalties. I'm not going to bother with everyone because I don't think it's going to make that much difference. The Bonkers on his first penalty. Pepsi has been clean this entire race. F1 Ben, 2 penalties. How many penalties can you spot? So we have 2, 3, 4 penalties. That's going to impact him a lot. Lives on 2 nothing but warnings. And Groundsy on a penalty, another penalty, another penalty, another penalty, and another penalty. Holy mackerel. So it's going to impact them if Sir Lane gets a 3-second penalty. Livs goes fastest again with a 1:12.2. Coming up to low qualifying times that. Livs wanting to hunt down F1 Ben. So he is making pace, he is making time. When did that move get done? I swear I can't. Okay, sure, I don't know. I can't remember. Moving on. Can we just establish that in like, I think 2 laps, Bonkers has made 2 further seconds a lead in front of Pepsi, which puts him just under, well, it was 12 seconds back then, but it's 11.9 seconds now. Lane closing in on Killian. Locking up slightly. Doesn't look like he's got a good exit. No, he has not, but he has that DRS, and he has a lot of fuel in that tank, whereas Killian does not. F1 Ben goes faster than 1+. It's a battle for fastest lap right now between Livs and Ben. They keep trying to push each other away, they keep gaining each other. It's just not going to work. It's just going to be a continuous battle, I think. Lane has that DRS again. He's on the, it shows he's on the Ultra Speed. He is on the softs. He was on a much harder tyre. Killian will have another shot, I can't quite tell. I'd just like to point out that Livs, who's currently in 4th, has only a 15-point gap to Pepsi, and Bonkers a 21-point gap to Livs. Livs is on 58, while Pepsi's on 43, and Bonkers on 37. With Bonkers is 6 seconds is Lane. I think here's the glass a little bit too much there, going into that hairpin. What? I'm not sure what happened there. Did the thing just glitch? I'm not quite sure. Oh no, okay, so it was just my thing, okay. There, so Lane making time on Killian, he's closing that gap slowly. Like Canada, it brings up so many surprises. The biggest surprise so far is the amount of time penalties that we are having in this one race. There are so many time penalties. There's so much, I don't actually even think it's going to matter at this point. In terms of making up time. It will do in some circumstances, but because there are so many, it's just going to even it all out, to be honest. Sir Lane has somehow managed to lose half a second, I think, to Killian. That's definitely a lot more time there. He's taken turn 8 very badly there, which of course in turn makes turn 9 quite hard to take as well. Livs wanting to chase down Ben, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's just too far from him to make a move. This battle of fastest lap, I think it's going to continue. I'm not quite sure. But so Lane wanting to switch up this strategy, I think. Oh no, he's got fumble. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's got fumble. So he gets a new front point. I was going to say he's going to try and change up the strategy and maybe pick another tyre. So he goes onto the Ultra Softs, which is going to give him a much needed advantage in terms of pace. Where he is though, I'm not sure it's going to matter. In terms of time penalties, it might help him. I'm not quite sure. Livs 1.7 seconds from Ben. Ben 8 seconds from Pepsi, and Pepsi 11 seconds. 11.8 from Bonkers, and that gap is climbing. There is a 20-second gap between first and third. Unbelievable. Ben picking up another time penalty. It seems he can't get enough of them. Transfer to sector 3, that's Sambo. Sambo has binned it in the Wall of Champions. It might be a glitch, it might just be human error, I'm not sure. But unlucky to Sambo. So that just leaves 11 drivers of the 20 of this race left. I'm not even going to mention the time penalties anymore. There are so many this race. It's gonna actually make me laugh at the end of the race just to see how many time penalties there are in an entire race, and how much of an impact it's going to make on results. I don't think I've never seen this many penalties in a singular race. Certainly not enough to sort of disqualify people. It's certainly not enough. I say this every race, but this is usually part of the race now where everything's broken up. It usually happens midway through the race, but surprisingly, it's quite late into the race. It was very close for a while, then it spread out, then it was very close again, and then it was spread out a second time before it is now. So, if you're just joining, or if you've left and joined back, here's the current situation. Bonkers is leading, Pepsi's in second, F1 10 is in third. The current championship leader, Lives, is in fourth, but I'm not sure what this is going to mean for the results of the race, because there are so many penalties, and as I say, that F1 Ben has binned it into the Canadian Wall of Champions. What's the Canadian? The Quebec Wall of Champions. So Lane picks up, yep, there's another time penalty. So F1 Ben, who is currently 16th in this championship, has not finished this race, which was unlucky. He had a lot going for him here. He needed this result. He needed this high result, high points, which is very sad to see him. Which leaves only, I think, 10, I believe, races left. Yeah, 10. So Bonkers is leading now. Pepsi in second. Third is Lives, championship leader. Groundy's in fourth. Leclerc's in fifth. But because of penalties, I'm not sure what is going to happen. It's going to surprise me more than it's going to surprise anyone else. I can't keep track of everyone. I would if it was only 3 or 4 penalties, but there were just so many penalties. Lives go, oh, it looks like he was going to go for the pits. Apologies there. He's taking the World Champion very impressive. Cow on the back of Atlantis for P7. Atlantis goes quite wide, whereas Cow goes quite tight, so it kind of evens it out. Cow closing in on Atlantis. Cow on the inside of Atlantis makes a move at nice, and highly I say that, but he's got the grass. Slight dive from Atlantis will be very angry because he hasn't managed to get that back. Cow hits the grass, and it didn't really pay off well for Atlantis. He couldn't quite get it back. D3 with another time penalty. So Cow up into P7, having that move done. Nice and easy. I say nice and easy. It almost ended in disaster. He could have hit the grass. He could have completely spun his car. Who knows? Atlantis will be wanting to close in on Cal and get that P7 back. Cal is currently 4th in the championship, whereas Atlantis is in 7th. So the more points, the merrier. So Atlantis, I think he has that DOS. He doesn't have that much fuel, but neither does Cal. In fact, he's coming up to the negatives. Atlantis is. So he has that DOS, but I don't think he's in the slipstream. That was very good indeed from Atlantis. He almost gets the tyre, he almost gets the world champion as well. That tyre was glitch. Been claiming the victim of many drivers this race. There will probably be some talking behind closed doors as to what's going to happen with some results, with some incidents. Definitely some further investigations into some incidents, because we've lost, we've lost half the grid. Some due to incidents, mostly due to the glitch, to be honest, that we the champions. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. So Lane closing in on Atlantis there. We're on lap 35. Not long left to go here at the ILR Canadian Grand Prix. So Lane almost losing it at that hairpin, but managed to just cover just enough, and still gets that DOS. Because Atlantis has fuel, but he hasn't got enough to defend it, let's be honest. So Lane, very good exit out of turn 14. So Lane and Atlantis go side by side. Ferrari and Red Bull gets that move done nice and easy. Atlantis going right behind, trying to get an early switchback, but it doesn't look like. Lane is up into P8 then. And that move on Atlantis is done nice and easy. Atlantis missing out a lot due to that incident with Cal into the lane just now. So it's unlucky to see that driver fall down so far indeed. And from driver as well, that usually finishes quite mid-table. He finished P5 in Australia, P8 in Bahrain, and P9 in Spain. He has a decent driving proficiency as Cal, because of a 3-second time. I don't even know if that's going to change the position. Lane and Atlantis, or it's going to remain the same. We're on the penultimate lap right now of the Canadian Grand Prix. The Plur. And his teammate, the winner driver, almost finishing the penultimate lap. Doesn't look like that much is going to happen in the rest of the race. So I will go on board with bunkers and see if we can get some smexy shots of the final lap. Yeah, Canadian Grand Prix. He's had such a flawless race. This race, he played it well from the start. He had his strategy correct. He had everything in his favour. The Red Bull driver of Lane slowly catching up to the systems. Oh, it's going to be enough for this. I'm going to keep an eye on that time. He's coming around turn 6 and 7 for the final time. He's had a really good race indeed. I must say, hats off to him. The track conditions have been well in his favour. The race itself has been well in his favour. He's had such a flawless race. That is a sexy helmet, isn't it? That gap between Lane and Cal has reduced to just half a second. 0.3 now. Oh dear! Lane missed out completely because of the World of Champions there. Another victim claim. Wasn't race ending, but it's not something you want on your last lap. It makes you grip your heart. But for the final time then, Lane comes round the World of Champions. Comes round the World of Champions to win the Canadian Grand Prix here at ILR League 3. Fantastic driving from that Renault driver there. We'll be very happy indeed. Pepsi coming across the line now to claim P2. Followed by Libs, the championship leader, in third. So he gets his second, third position and his fourth podium this race. Groundsy coming around at chicane in the final time. Picking up P4. He had quite a decent race, to be fair. The racer who's currently... I'm not sure where he is right now. Killian. Oh no. I'm not quite sure where he is. But Killian coming across the line in the final time to pick up P6. Obviously makes P3 as a default and race ending. Cal comes on P7 and Selene comes across P9 and Atlantis to follow suit behind. But that was the Canadian Grand Prix here for ILR League 3 here on Xbox as we wait now. There were so many penalties, so it will be, oh my good god. So Bonkers finishes this race in P1, Pepsi in P2, Libs in P3, Leclerc in P4, Groundsy in P5, followed by Killian, Atlantis, Selene, Cal, D3, and the rest are all DNFs. We've lost half the grid to this track. Hello, people. Can you make sure your party thing is set to the party chat is set to the broadcast? Included. Yeah. That is fantastic to hear. It doesn't look like we're going to get Pepsi in the. Oh no, that's Lids. Hang on, let me just get Pepsi in. While waiting for Pepsi, I'm going to start out by saying well done to you, Bonkers. You've had such a flawless race here at Canada. Is there anything? Obviously, you've had such a good result, but is there anything you think you could have done any differently to try and play it out a different, maybe get a better lead?
Well, I wasn't really expecting much because I've made a huge change to how I drive. Because of the last couple of races, I have a decent qualifying, and then in the race I have no grip because I have such an aggressive setup or whatever. So I've just changed it and toned it down. And this race, I was able to go really long on tires, and it was just really smooth and nice, and yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, and it's paid off well, it seems. So moving on to Pepsi, are you happy with your result here? Is there anything you would have done differently? Anything during the race that made you think could have impacted your result?
No, I was having major problems. My controller turned off about 5 times. And he smashed it in the wall twice while my controller was turning off. I'm happy just to finish.
Happy.
Just happy to finish.
It is annoying when third-party elements get involved. No. And Libs, in your result, are you happy with your result?
Yeah, I'm actually quite happy after having Bar Collie only qualifying like P10, then having an incident with Bianchi was lagging quite a lot. Quite happy to have somehow a podium right now.
Yeah, I remember you finishing all the way down in P10. What was your feeling? What did you feel when you did qualify in P10? What was your mentality at that point?
I basically was like, just brake early, get out of trouble, no front wing damage, just get out of trouble and race cleanly. That's all I was thinking.
And I guess it paid off well then. This is just a question to all three of you. Did any of you get a glitch with the Wall of Champions?
No.
Where it was Spazzy.
Yeah, not personally, but I know that's what happened to Kane. I was in a party with him, and he was, he had an incident on the main straight. First of all, lost swing, and then he retired because of that. He said like the wall came out onto the track or something, and
yeah, it's very glitchy.
Couldn't avoid it.
It happens all the time. I think it claimed like half the grid.
Yeah, I think Ben crashed because of that as well.
But so where are we next week? We are in Austria, I believe, next week.
Ooh.
So
good stuff.
Looking towards Austria, how do you think Livs you will fare in the race?
Not one of my best tracks, but hoping just for good points again.
Same question to you, Pepsi.
Yeah, just gonna try and continue this podium streak. Austria's not one of my best tracks as well, so let's just try and get another podium.
And Bonkers, after finishing first in this race, do you see yourself on the top of that podium again, or are you like some of the drivers where Austria isn't your best track?
Yeah, no, I like Austria, and hopefully I can find like a good setup or get into a good groove or something, you know, and we'll see what happens.
For sure. Right then, so gentlemen, thank you. That was the
Thanks.
ILR Canadian Grand Prix Tier 3 Round 4. So see you next week at Austria. Goodbye for now.